Hey everyone, Eric here, and welcome back. So today I want to share a story that, honestly, still makes me cringe a little bit. It's about a skill that can literally make or break your career. Impromptu speaking. Alright, so picture this. A few years back, I'm in this super high-level company meeting. You know the kind, big conference table, serious faces all around. I was pretty new on the project, so my job was simple. Be a fly on the wall. Just listen, take notes, and basically try not to breathe too loudly. Zero pressure. Or so I thought. And then bam, right in the middle of everything, the big boss, I'm talking the CEO, suddenly calls my name. Out of nowhere. He looks right at me from across the table and asks, Eric, what's the market potential for this project? And man, the entire room just went dead silent. Every single head turned and looked right at me. My heart just plummeted into my stomach. And the crazy thing is, I knew the answer. I had been living and breathing the data for weeks. But in that moment, my mind was just static, a total blank screen. And the best, most brilliant thing I could come up with was, it's quite big. Quite big. Yeah, the silence after that felt like an eternity. I'm pretty sure we've all had a moment like that, right? That crucial time when you're put on the spot and your brain just decides, you know what, I'm out of here. It takes a little vacation right when you need it the most. So what is going on there? Why do our brains seem to betray us in these high-stakes moments?
Well, that's what we're going to break down today. We'll start with those moments we all dread, then talk about why this is a skill, not a talent. I'll walk you through a simple 3-layer structure to handle any situation. Then we'll cover how to practice so you're ready for your next impromptu moment. Let's get into it.
Okay, first things first, we need to completely change how we think about speaking on the spot. And here's the big idea. It's not magic, it's a skill you can learn. So let's bust this huge myth right now. We always think some people are just born great speakers, but the reality is it's a learnable skill that's all about having a system. Think of it like this. The myth is that your brain is a messy library. When someone asks a question, you're just frantically running around trying to find the right book. The reality we want is an organized library. You know exactly which shelf to go to. It's like having recipe frameworks ready instead of inventing a dish from scratch every single time. And this brings us to this really cool concept called scripted impromptu. I know, it sounds like a total contradiction, right? How can something be scripted and impromptu? But the idea is brilliant. You're not scripting the exact words to memorize. That never works. Instead, you're preparing mental frameworks. Think of it as having a blueprint for your thoughts, so you can build a solid response instantly. So you might be asking, okay, Eric, what does this mental framework actually look like? This is where it gets super practical. Let's get into the blueprint for clear, instant communication, the 3-layer structure. It's actually incredibly simple, just 3 steps to burn into your brain. That's it. Number 1, the grabber. Number 2, the message. And number 3, the call to action. Grabber, message, action. This is your go-to recipe for pretty much any impromptu situation. So let's break it down. Layer 1 is the grabber. This is your opening hook. You have about 3 seconds. 3 to get their attention. You could ask a provocative question, drop a surprising statistic, or my personal favorite, just state a really bold position. The goal is to start with a punch, not a whimper. Okay, now for the second layer. This is the real meat of your response. And for this, I want you to just remember one number. 3. It's the magic number. Layer 2 is the message. And the golden rule here is the rule of 3. Why? Because our brains are literally wired to process information in 3s. 1 point feels a little weak, and 5 points, nobody's going to remember that. But 3 feels complete, balanced, and is incredibly memorable. It gives your thoughts immediate structure and makes you sound way more credible. So let's put it all together. Imagine you bump into your boss in the elevator. Instead of fumbling around, you can hit him with this. The grabber. Boss, Project A will be our next growth engine. Super bold. The message. It's based on 3 points, a new market, new tech, and a new channel. Boom, boom, boom. And the call to action. Can I have 15 minutes tomorrow to show you? See what just happened? You turned a random encounter into a strategic opportunity in like 30 seconds. Okay, so now we have the blueprint. But a blueprint alone doesn't build the house, right? You have to do the work. This is all about building that communication muscle. So let's talk about how to practice deliberately.
There are a bunch of ways to practice, but I've boiled it down to these 3 methods that are super actionable. Think of this as your gym routine for your brain. The daily question, meeting rehearsal, and building your story library.
First up, the daily question. This is like your daily sparring session. Give yourself a tough but realistic scenario, like an angry client calling. Then actually say your response out loud using the 3 layers. Look at the example. The grabber isn't defensive, it acknowledges their feedback. The message isn't a vague promise, it's 3 concrete steps. And the call to action confirms the next move. Doing this daily builds the reflex.
Next, meeting rehearsal. Let's be honest, meetings are the perfect gym for this skill. So before you walk into any meeting, just take 5 minutes to prep. Ask yourself these key questions. By preloading your 3-layer responses, you go from being a passive listener to a prepared, valuable contributor. This is a total game changer, for sure.
And finally, build your story library. You've heard it before, facts tell, but stories sell. It's so true. So start collecting your key professional stories, your wins, your failures, your lessons learned. But don't just remember them, structure them. For each one, know your grabber, your 3 key points, and the takeaway. These stories become your most powerful communication assets. All right, let's bring it all home with the key takeaways. We've covered a lot, basically moving from that feeling of total panic to a state of being completely prepared.
So, what are the key things to remember? First and most importantly, this is a learnable skill, not some innate talent. The secret is scripted impromptu, preparing frameworks, not memorizing lines. Your go-to framework is the simple but powerful grabber message action structure. And finally, you build this skill through practice, daily questions, meeting rehearsals, and building that story library. So we've gone through the why, the what, and the how. Now, I want to leave you with one final thought as you look ahead.
That moment that used to cause panic, it's no longer a threat. It's an opportunity. It's a chance to show your value, to show your clarity of thought, and to move things forward. So the question isn't if it will happen again, it's when. And the next time you're put on the spot, what opportunity will you be ready to capture? I really hope these frameworks help you turn your next unexpected moment into a huge opportunity. If you found this explainer valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button, subscribe, and maybe share it with a colleague who could use it. And I'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments what topic or book you'd like us to explain next. Thanks for watching. I'm Eric, and I'll see you in the next one.